you know that I'm doing this arena. Saints, this is going to cost about $1.4 million. The arena, to rent out the arena by itself with nothing else, costs $250,000 for 2 nights. We have that paid. I need you to sow big. I need some of you to sow 1,000. Some of you can sow 10,000. I need some of you to sow 20 and 40,000. I am speaking in this season to people to sow their possessions. Jesus required the apostles to give up houses and lands and to sow that into the ministry so that they could go full time with him. People lay their possessions at the apostles' feet. I'm telling people to give possessions. That means if you got houses that you can give away, cars, lands, stocks, gold, silver, collectibles, sow a house, sow land, give away this. You have 4 houses, give away 1 to the ministry. You should be doing that. You have gold, you have silver put away. Some of you have 401ks, you have annuities, you have stocks, you have collectibles, valuables.
I thought this would be the perfect time to talk about Apostle David E. Taylor, especially since I just finished speaking on Apostle T.D. McNutt. Now, I use the word apostle very loosely, but it seems like these guys have some things in common. They're rocking in the same boat. Well, almost. Apostle David E. Taylor is in jail. He was arrested back in August of 2025. I did a video about that. In case you missed it, don't worry. I'll link it in the description below. Well, I want to update you on what's happening with David E. Taylor in 2026. So I want you to take a look at some videos with me. But before we do, make sure that you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now let's go.
Total of 3 people who work at the Kingdom of God Church indicted by a federal grand jury. They're accused of using members of their own church and forcing them to work at call centers and punishing them if they don't get the donations that they're seeking, while a group of supporters say those claims are not true.
Prosecution has falsely labeled this church a criminal organization, but we are a church, and we are here to let the world know we are not victims. We are volunteer missionaries that preach the gospel.
Apostle David E. Taylor has not done anything wrong. He is not a criminal. He has no criminal record, yet the judge, Kimberly Altman, tried to say he was a danger to society. That doesn't make sense. They said the same thing about Martin Luther King Jr. They said he was the most dangerous Negro, but yet he was trying to unite people together. Our pastor, David Taylor, is not a criminal. Michelle Brannon and Kathleen Klein are not criminals. They are pastors of a church, and this indictment is unconstitutional.
There was a lot of noise going on in the background because there are members of David E. Taylor's church that believe he's innocent. They believe that their pastor can do no wrong, so much so that they're willing to protest about it. But there are members who used to be a part of that very same congregation that believe differently. They've actually made statements about it, which is why David E. Taylor and Michelle Brannon are sitting in jail right now on 10 counts. 10 counts that I'm going to read you. Now, if you want to read it for yourself, you can go find this information on justice.gov. All you have to do is Google search David E. Taylor's name. Make sure you put apostle in front of that, okay? Now, the 10 counts that they're in jail for is, the first count is conspiracy to commit forced labor. Count 2 through 9 is forced labor. And then count 3 is money laundering. I don't know if the man did it or not, and everything is alleged because he has not been found guilty. But by the looks of the videos that I've seen, it seems like he might have a real big fight on his hands. Now, this isn't the first time that David has been confronted about what he is doing with the church's money, how he's spending the church's money. I want to show you that clip first, and then we're going to get into the new charges that have been brought against David E. Taylor.
He spent $3,500 by JMMI to Versace in the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
I'm sure that's right, if it shows there.
And that was for closing for you?
Yes, probably. Yes, most likely.
So you don't see that there's any problem when you're ministering to the poor, the sick, the needy, to be appearing in Louis Vuitton and Versace?
Well, that ain't something I purchase all the time.
Well, it looks like you did several times in...
I mean, I'm a very frugal person when it comes to this. I go to the right places to get a lot of suits, and if I get some from those places, you don't see that.
I don't see Macy's.
No, you don't see that, because Macy's don't have the kind of suits that I wear. But what I'm saying is, this these Louis Vuitton things, you don't see that in our charges all the time.
2013 and 14, you spent over, GMMI spent over $30,000 in your clothes. Does that sound about right?
What year was that?
13 and 14?
Oh God, yes, because I was traveling so much and sweating through all my clothes. Exactly. That probably wasn't enough because just have so.
But they have to be top of the line, expensive ones.
No, they're not top of the line clothes.
Louis Vuitton's not top of the line?
Those not where I get my suits from.
Well, you got something from them for
yeah.
spent thousands and thousands.
Well, the belts are more lasting, so that's good.
Come on, you're buying belts for $5,000?
No, I mean multiple belts.
What?
Taylor, who's been behind bars since his arrest in August, is facing new charges of conspiracy to establish peonage, slavery, involuntary servitude, or trafficking. This new indictment accuses him of requesting and receiving sexually explicit pictures and videos from female victims within the church. The feds say some of those victims were afraid of disobeying Taylor.
David E. Taylor, like a lot of these pulpit preachers, or I should say pimps, are going to be facing jail time because the Lord has told them to get up out of his house, playing with his people, trying to lead his sheep, to give them money to create better lifestyles for themselves so they can go around buy $5,000 Louis belts. They can walk across the stage and preach to you about becoming rich and giving all of your possessions to them while they what? They wear them and they invest in their own homes and their own families, and you're still left broke. I talk about these kind of people all the time. And David E. Taylor is not just one person doing this. It's many out there. He's just another one who has been caught. We thank God for that, though, because he's right where he needs to be. And now he has more indictments against him. So let's go through them. He's got peonage, coercing the people working for him to pay off debts. Now, what debts would these people have with a pastor of a church? What has he given them that they would owe him back? That's like some stuff with slavery. But then he has an indictment for that too. He has an indictment for involuntary servitude. So basically, you're threatening people so that they can stay in your call center all wee hours of the night and in the morning, get no sleep, trying to make money for you to be able to afford a luxury lifestyle. You and Michelle Brannon. Oh, and let's not forget the third woman that they just indicted too. We're going to get to her. And then trafficking. You a whole apostle pastor trafficking people? But they allegedly said that the people who were working for him, the women, he was using them for sexual favors. Yep. So that's probably where the trafficking comes in at. Now, I want to get into some people who had some things to say about David E. Taylor, and then we will get into the woman who was indicted along with him and Michelle Brannon.
An anonymous person speaking on behalf of the alleged victims gave Fox 2 this statement, which reads in part, "This is not a persecution of a church preaching the gospel. This is the prosecution of a man that, according to the evidence and experience of many families, mentally and sexually abused volunteers by exploiting their genuine love for Christ and claiming to have power and authority over others. Please read the evidence for yourself and protect your family."
The funniest sign I saw out there was a Black Lives Matter sign. Allegedly, the women who were running that organization are being investigated too for taking the very money that they were fighting for victims. And they have padded their pockets, lived a luxury lifestyle, buying big homes. Now, there's always going to be some type of scammer. They're in the churches posing as pastors, bishops, apostles, prophets. They're out in the streets. They're on the phone, calling you, sending you emails and text messages. Make sure that you keep your discernment turned all the way up on high, because the world is not getting any better. It's getting worse. Make sure that you stay prayed up and stay in your word so that you can detect when somebody is on BS, when the fruit is bad on the tree. Now, I want to get into the last person that they have added to this case and hear what they have charged her with. So why don't we listen to the video and then we'll discuss afterwards.
We're also learning from a new indictment that a third person has been charged in this case. That is Kathleen Klein, who, according to that indictment, was known as Prophetess. The feds say Klein and Michelle Brannon, who was also arrested in Tampa Bay back in the summer, helped Taylor run call centers around the country. The FBI raided a number of those call centers, including one inside this mansion in the affluent Avila neighborhood in Hillsborough County. Court documents previously revealed the workers inside these call centers were allegedly put through mental and physical abuse, while the head honchos were spending millions of dollars in earnings on luxury items.
Terrible.
Now, Klein is being named in those documents, and she's accused of being another enforcer of Taylor's demands and punishments. The indictment includes texts that Klein allegedly sent to the managers of a Houston center threatening heavy labor and physical abuse.
All I have to say is lock them all up and throw away the key. Now let me know your thoughts in the comments below, because that's what I'm here for.